Hello and welcome to the Tiny Human Knits podcast. My name is Laura and I'm coming to you from Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, where I live with my boyfriend, our dog, our cat, and our rabbit. You can find me online as Tiny Human Knits on Instagram, Ravelry, Etsy, and YouTube, and I will have everything that I talk about and all my social medias linked down below in the description box. Hello, it has been a very busy 2 weeks. This is going to become really repetitive. It's very busy. Yes, I keep myself very busy, but it has been an exceptionally busy 2 weeks. I had planned to finish a few things that I don't even think I even thought of during the last 2 weeks. So, but yes. Anyway, I'm already off track. I am wearing my Understated today, but it's a pattern by Locatelli, and I knit it out of the... What did I knit it out of? Do you know what? I'm gonna get one of the skates. I knit it out of Harrisville Designs Nightshades, and this is the Streetlight colorway. It is a blend, I think, of American Cormo and wool, and it's a DK weight. I had this in my stash for quite a while, and then I knit this sweater when we were moving last year. Actually, today is exactly a year since we've been in Fredericton. So there's also that. But I knit this pattern while we were moving, and I loved it so much that I actually have enough again to make another sweater. I just haven't found the right one yet. But I wear this one a lot. It's very comfortable. This yarn is deliciously lightweight, and it's lovely. I like it a lot, and I need to knit up another one, and it's the exact same color, but I really like this color. It's the one with the yellow in it, I think. 10 out of 10, can recommend. And also, I really love anything that Locatelli designs, and I finally realized after, was it 10 plus years of knitting now, that my favorite garment to wear is something with a drop shoulder. Almost everything I've made this year has a drop shoulder, and I just love it. I actually have been considering gifting or rehoming my Foxberry pullover by Sari Nordland because it is a round yoke sweater, and I keep trying to wear it, and it doesn't suit me. I think it's beautiful. The design is absolutely lovely, but it just doesn't suit me, and I want my clothes to be very easy to wear, and I find it's a little bit more, you're adjusting all the time. Again, that's just my shape, not the pattern at all. So I'm thinking of gifting that one to somebody, but I haven't decided who, because they have to be able to take care of wool, because it's in the Holst Garn Health Double. I'll decide that later. There's a problem in my immediate circle where I have some people in my life that are my same size, but their proportions are different, so that might not fit properly. I don't know. Anyway, today is just tangents. That's what I'm wearing. I have got 5 finished objects today. Actually 6, but one of them I can't show you because it is a gift, even though this person has no idea they're getting it. I'm going to wait until they have it before I show it to you. I'll film some video or something of it before I send it. And my cousin Kayla got her box of goodies with all the little kid sweaters in it, and the 2 older girls' sweaters fit them perfectly. They fit so well. They fit better than I could have ever hoped for, which is amazing considering I knit sizes in the pattern that were 2 years older than what the girls actually are. So I'm very glad I did that. Very, very pleased with myself. And it's just nice to have them there. They've got them. They've got the quilt. It's fantastic. Love it. Wonderful. But I do have 5 things that I can show you that I finished since last time. And I'll start with socks because they're nice and easy. First, I finished my pair of Folkart socks. This is one of my own colorways that I had in the shop last update, which was a week and a half ago. And I finished this pair, my basic recipe, nothing to write home about. And then I had, the day before my update, I had half of one of these socks finished. I had one of them to the point where it needed a heel. And I really like to have a full pair knit up to take photos of for my shop updates. And so I set myself the goal of finishing this pair of socks before the update at 1 o'clock. So I spent the entire day beforehand. Thank goodness I had finished all my other work already. But I spent the entire day beforehand and then like woke up pretty early the next day to finish them. And I finished my pair of Bubble Bubble socks with about an hour and a half to spare. So I like, one of them I had already blocked. And then when I finished the second one, I just put it on the sock blocker and steamed it with my iron. Just so I could take my nice pictures. And then I blocked it afterwards properly. Very happy with those, and I thought it'd be kind of funny to show you. So I finished these two pairs of socks. This year, I think I've mentioned before, I don't really wear socks. I wear them in the winter when I'm wearing shoes, but generally I don't wear them for just whenever. So this year, with all of the new colorways I've done, and then some of my old ones that I've finished pairs of, I wanted to show you the socks that I've knit this year and haven't worn. This is my stack of unworn socks, and it's only going to get bigger because I've got quite a few on my needles again. Finishing some from last year and then new colorways as well. So yeah, I'm not hurting for socks at all. And I really enjoy knitting socks. I love having them in my bag with me whenever I'm running an errand or whatever. If I'm going grocery shopping, I'll be knitting them. Pretty much anywhere I go, I have a pair of socks with me. And I just find like that little bit of time you get when you're doing other things, it adds up really quickly and you manage to get like through quite a bit. And yeah, so these are, I think from here up are all new colorways, and I'm actually missing one because I had made my first two Lord of the Rings colorways for my cousin, so she has those. And that's not even all the pairs of socks I have that are unworn, that's just the ones from this year. So yeah, I thought that would be interesting. Those are my socks, and my next finished object is actually something I didn't even have cast on, I don't think, at the last episode, and it's another Oslo hat, Mohair edition by PetiteKnit. And I cast this on because I made a new colorway that was going to be the mini skein for a new sock set that will be coming out, I think, at the end of November. And I liked it so much that I dyed it up on a bigger skein with some mohair, and I really, really wanted a hat out of it. So this is my 7th Oslo hat because of reasons. And I really, really like it. I haven't named this colorway yet, but I love it so much. It's the perfect, for me, kind of a caramel brown. And this one's for me. I knit it, I knit the adult large size in the pattern, and then I actually used a 3.25 millimeter needle. When I was making them for my boyfriend, I make them on a 3.5, and I find the fit is really well in those, but I'm thinking it'll probably stretch out over time. So I wanted one that was just like a hair smaller, but not as small as a 3 millimeter, because it's surprising how much of a difference that makes. So I did 3.25 millimeter needles, and I really, really like it. I actually dyed up enough to make 2 of them. The second one will be a gift, but I haven't cast on that one yet, just because I've been so busy with other things. But I am super, super happy with how this one turned out. Very happy indeed. And if you haven't watched my previous episodes and seen the other 6 that I've made, the Oslo hat is a triple folded brim where you don't do any ribbing. It is just knitting in the round, and it is fantastic. It's amazing how quickly it goes. So you just cast on, and then I tried to cast on quite loosely with this one because I found that sometimes my cast on can be a little bit tight when you fold it over. So you cast on, knit a long length because it's double folded, then you sew this edge down after you get to a certain point. I usually do it before I finish because then it's not as much yarn stuff in the way. And then you just knit more in the round, and then you do crown decreases, and it's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, you've got 3 layers of a fingering weight and a mohair held together, so it's super toasty. But yeah, that's my third finished object, and that can go on the pile of Oslo hats I have over here. Perfect, very autumnal up there. And then my next finished object is the Bitty Beekeeper sweater by Marie Green of Olive Knits, and that's right here. So I knit this out of some yarn that I bought from the Gauge Down Fiber Gathering a few weeks ago, and I bought it and told myself that I had to use it right away. So in my last episode I had just cast this on, and it is now finished. I knit the 2 to 4 year size, and it is gorgeous. It's called the Bitty Beekeeper because it actually has these tiny little bee stitch detail. And I didn't alternate skeins, and I think it looks super cute. It's just like a splodgy sort of deliciously cute sweater. And originally I thought I was going to be giving this to my nephew Axton, but now that I'm finished, I've decided it's going to go to my niece Mira because she's a little bit longer in the body, and also her family keeps bees, so I thought that would be super cute, and also I think it'll just suit her a lot better, and Axton is going to get a ton of sweaters. Like, I've got plans. So I've got some yarn set aside for him in a really nice green from Knitting for Olive, and yeah. So this sweater is intended to be knit purlwise the whole way, so you're knitting pretty much purl stitch the whole time. And I would have been perfectly happy to do that, and I actually did do the purl stitch until after I separated the body and the sleeves. But after I separated the sleeves and had knit for a little, like maybe half an inch, I realized it was just getting too much. The thing about stockinette is that when it, when you're knitting, it wants to roll. So if you're knitting it from the purl side, it wants to roll inwards. So you kind of have to fight your knitting the whole time you're knitting something, and it was becoming such a pain, constantly having to try to unroll it. It was just so irritating that I didn't want to be fighting my knitting. So after I separated the sleeves, I just did a German short row turn and started knitting it from the inside out, and so it was all knit stitches, and that literally solved all my problems. And then when I got down to the bee stitches again, I just did it again and turned it around. I think it might be right there. Oh, it's just an end. And it just made it so much easier. It was completely worth doing it. And then I also knit the sleeves from the knit side instead, because there's no detail on them, and then it doesn't matter because it's 2x2 ribs, so it's all good, and I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very excited to give it to her. I think it's going to be so cute. It won't fit her quite well now to be a little bit more like a tunic, so I actually want to knit the Rocky pants from Tin Can Knits in a black, so she can wear like the legging kind of thing with this, and I think that would be super, super cute. She's adorable. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else I need to say about this except that it's super cute. Oh, the dyer, duh. The yarn came from Sweet Skein of Mine, or Sweet Skein of Mine, and she's a dyer in Fredericton as well, and she's the reason I was engaged to it at all. It's just super cute. I played a little bit of yarn chicken. I must have miscalculated, but I thought that I had like a certain amount. Okay, actually, story time. I knit one sleeve and I didn't realize till the end that I had misread the instructions for decreases. So I got to the end and I bound off, it was all good, and then I just kept thinking that it looked a little bit narrow, and I just, in my head, I was like, no, it's fine, no, it's fine, and then I went back to the pattern and I realized my mistake where I had done too many decreases at the beginning. So I picked up the stitches for the second sleeve and I knit maybe half an inch in the proper decrease way. And then I unraveled the first sleeve that I had knit. So I did a whole sleeve and then completely got rid of all the progress that I had made. But I'm a lot happier for it. But I was, after doing that, I knew the second, like when I knit the sleeve again, it would take more yarn. And I was really worried about running out and I was a little nervous. But in the end, I ended up having 8 ounces left. So not so much that I, have a bunch of leftovers that I don't know what to do with, but just enough that I didn't actually have to worry about it. So that is key. Okay, my last finished object is a sewing object. It is the table topper that I had shown you the top of last time, and this is literally the reason that I'm filming today, because I really want to put this on my table. But I did finish it, and so what I did is I basted it with this adorable background fabric. This is just something that I found in my stash. And then I just did some really basic quilting. The stuff like this, you don't need to be fancy. Like I said last time, it's going to probably get stained almost immediately, so I'm not particularly worried about it. But I just did some really basic quilting, stitch in the ditch, and then some just around the edges here. And then on the 4 stars around in each corner, I actually did some really simple hand quilting. And I wasn't trying to be neat at all. I was just going for the kind of country look. So I did some, I think it's a pearl cotton size 12, and just did some really basic quilting. And I think it looks super cute. I'm so happy with it, and I will be making the Christmas one probably soon. And this will be going right on my table. But yeah, as soon as I'm done working on my sewing stuff now, which is, to be fair, quite a lot, I will be making the Christmas one, because, I mean, this is going to go on there and then, have a good month plus of display, and then we can put a different one on there. But yeah, I'm super happy with this. It's just it doesn't take much fabric, like I said last time, and this would be a great introduction to quilting. It's got almost all of the techniques most quilts have. Half square triangles. Actually, does this one have half square triangles? No. No, never mind. Same basic idea though. But yeah, again, super, super easy. And I will link it down below if you would like to make your own. This is the type of thing, like the first thing I ever quilted was a wall hanging, and it just made me realize that I don't have to be scared of doing it, because it's not that hard. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to have to unpick, which is something you should probably get used to anyway if you're going to take up sewing of any type. So yeah, super happy with that. It's going right on my table. It's a very sleepy day in this house today. The couch is right behind the camera and there's very dozy animals taking up the entire thing. Cause we have like a couch that has a chaise side. So it's like half the couch is double long and it's got like a ottoman type thing connected to it. And that's where Gus, our, 80-pound yellow lab, sleeps always. He takes up so much space. And then the other side, I have my blankets and like some of my projects and stuff on it. And the cat is always just right there. If she's not sitting in the window, she's right there. It's very cute. Okay, so moving on onto my works in progress. I'll show you quickly a work in progress sock. And this is actually a new colorway. I'm thinking, I've been calling it sweater weather in my head. And this is where the sort of caramelly color comes from, because I had made this for the contrast. It's actually in the sock as well, but whatever. But this one is called Sweater Weather, and I'm just past the heel and doing the gusset decreases. And I really, really like this colorway a lot. Just so much. I actually based this on a picture on Pinterest of a sweater that someone was wearing, and I'm very tempted to dye up yarn and try to recreate it, even though it looks like it would take absolutely forever, but that's okay. I'm not in a hurry. I just really, really love these colors. But yeah, I've got that one, and then I have the second one started because I've done the contrast color for the cuff as well. I did 20 rows of 2x2 ribbing, which is longer than my normal socks, but I wanted this one to be like really cozy, autumnal, a little bit longer in the leg. It's not super long, but it's long for me. So I just started this because the cuff is my least favorite part. And with a lot of knitting, I try to get the most annoying part finished before anything else, just so I can, you know, go about it without having to fuss with it. Like, I don't mind doing heels, I don't mind doing gusset decreases, all of that's super easy, but a cuff, ugh, I'd rather not. But we do what we have to. I actually only have one other work in progress that I'm working on at the moment. I did bring out my Gartrell Crew, I think, by Tanis Lavallee, and I have it by the couch, but I haven't actually touched it. It was supposed to be my, like, just knitting in the round when I got bored of the current project that I brought out again, but I'm really, really going hard on this project. So I started knitting on my Friday tee by PetiteKnit again, and I swear, oh, it's kind of annoying. I really want to cast on the Ingrid sweater by PetiteKnit, and then I also want to cast on the Moby sweater when that comes out. So I'm like, I think I've told myself in my head that I can only have one PetiteKnit pattern on at a time, and I have to have a pattern by somebody else on at the same time. So I have to finish this before I can cast on the Ingrid. That's a rule. It can't just be PetiteKnit all the time. The Oslo hat doesn't count because that was easy and quick and just knitting in the round. I'm telling myself. But yes. I started working on my Friday tee again, and this thing is taking forever. So the last time I showed you, I had just separated the body and the sleeves, and now I am here. So the Friday tee, if you are unfamiliar, is a fingering weight sweater on 3mm needles in broken rib, 1x1 broken rib. So every other row is knit, and then every other row after that is a knit 1 purl 1. So it takes absolutely forever, and it is taking forever. So I'll show you. The last time I showed you, I have a marker here, I was right here at this first pink stripe, and now I have done actually a whole repeat of the colors again. By the way, this is my own hand-dyed yarn. The main color is Pale Mushroom, and then the contrast color is the Jolly Holiday mini skein set. So I have been consistently working on this for 4 days, and I have made 5 inches of progress. So it's a very slow project, but I'm actually surprised about how much that's not really bothering me right now, especially since I have so many other things I want to do. Like, I'm just kind of chugging along on this, and honestly, the fact that it's every other row is something different. So the knit stitches almost feel like, or the knit rows feel like rest rows, and then knit 1 purl 1, it's just like, okay, I gotta get through this before I can get to a rest row. And then the fact that it's a different, you have 6 rows of the main color and then 2 rows of a contrast color, and the fact that I'm doing the 10 different contrast colors is sort of like getting me along, like, oh, I get to put this color in next, and then after that I get to put this one in. So I'm actually really enjoying it, and I have pretty much decided, I was kind of waffling, but I've decided now I will be making it long sleeve because apparently I hate myself. I'll be making it long sleeve, but when I pick up the stitches, I won't be doing any decreases until I get to the cuff. So it'll just be like a balloon sleeve. and it might not even get to my, like, fully to my wrist. It might be like a 3/4. I find for me that works really well. Kind of like my Marseille sweater that I wore last time with that, which is also by PetiteKnit. I love it so much, but I am constantly like rolling up the sleeves because they're just getting in my way all the time. So for me personally, a 3/4 length sleeve is perfect. Even these, which are like a little past the elbow, perfect. It's wonderful for me. It's so much easier to wear. But yeah, I'm also sewing in the ends as I go because I don't want to have a bunch of ends at the end. I think, yeah, this is the side that they're sewn in on. You can't even see, really. Also, I'm quite happy with, like, this is where, right here is where I'm switching my colors, and you can barely tell, if you can tell at all. Not really. I'm very happy with it. I'm very excited to be able to block it because 1x1 broken rib just, like, it grows so much when you block it. That's why in this pattern, she gets you to knit it actually longer than what it's supposed to be when it's finished, because when it grows widthwise, it shrinks lengthwise. So I think, based on my fudgy calculations, I think I need to do 6 more colored stripes before I get to do the bottom ribbing. And I wouldn't be surprised if my sleeves ended up being the same. And it's wonderful. I love it so much. I love it so much. It's gonna be so much fun to wear when it's done. It's so lightweight because it's fingering weight. This so far only has, like, I just broke into the second skein of the main color, and then the contrast colors, it's going to be less than 100 grams for sure in total. So it'll be about, maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if it was maybe 300 grams total when I'm finished with it. But it's so lovely to work on. It's just weirdly therapeutic. I thought it would be more annoying than it is, but luckily it isn't. I also have a couple things that I want to be doing in the next few weeks. So first off, I didn't sew any more on the quilt that I had said last time, like, ooh, my goal is going to be to finish the quilt top. Absolutely not. I didn't even touch it. I kept moving the squares that I had done around my desk, and just not working on it. I did not have time. I kind of want to work on that a little bit. Hopefully I can get my other work sewing done a little bit faster. But I also wound up some yarn. So you probably know that Knitting Traditions, Inga of Knitting Traditions, is hosting with WoolyKnit their British wool make-along thing. I can't remember what it's called exactly, even though I watched the video yesterday. Anyway, so when Rebecca of the Crayabea podcast was doing her sort of collaboration with WoolyKnit, I did order a couple of cones. So this one is 500 grams, or it was, British wool cone Aran Nep in 1001. And it's just a basic off-white with, like, essentially tweed. So little neps in it. And just this morning, I wound off some yarn because I want to do a sweater held double. So I wound off these 2 Mahusive cakes. So I'm going to hold these double because I want to participate. I made the Foxberry because of the Crayabea podcast, because she was doing that thing with WoolyKnit. I think it was a cone along. And that's literally the reason I knit the Foxberry in the first place. So I want to use this as a reason to cast on something else, as if I need an excuse. And I think I'm going to cast on the, I want to call it Clover by Marie Wallin. It's like a lacy, cabley fitted or semi-fitted, like, cropped jumper. I'll put a picture here actually. And I think I want to make that one. And literally the reason I want to make that one is because I want to wear a sweater in this kind of color with a floor pinafore. And I'll put a picture of that up here, the pattern, out of the fabric that I ordered. That's this. Like, is that not festive? I believe that is festive. It's gonna be so cute. So I wanted a fitted jumper so that I could wear a pinafore dress over top of it comfortably. So that's why I chose that pattern. But this is a Robert Kaufman flannel that I ordered from fabric.com, and I love it so much. I will link it down below if it like suits your fancy. It's like a lightweight flannel, so it should work really well for the floor pinafore. I haven't made the floor pinafore yet. I have cut one out of some like nearly black denim. It's a like lightweight denim. And I'm gonna see how that fits, because a pinafore for me, or for anyone really, actually should be a lot easier to size for yourself, because it doesn't have to fit around the bust. It's only like a bib front. And the floor pinafore, if you look at the hashtag on Instagram, has so many stunning modifications that people have done, and the size range is really well. It's I can't remember the designer's name or her Instagram handle. Bad. Untitled Thoughts on Instagram. But it's a sliding scale for a price, so you pay what you can. So if you don't have like a heap of money, like a lot of us don't, you can, you know, get pretty much a discount off of it. So not only is it size inclusive, but it's a sliding scale payment plan. So yeah, I think I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah, it's really easy to fit properly. I think it's not as fit dependent. And then if you have like really nice blouses or cabled sweaters that you want to wear underneath, perfect. I actually ordered enough of this fabric to make myself a pinafore and then to make my boyfriend a matching button-up shirt. Because dork. That'll be our Christmas outfits, I guess. But I really, really like this fabric. I am tempted to get some more to back a Christmas quilt with, but we'll see how well this works out first. Or maybe I should work through some of my heaps of quilting fabrics that I already have. But yeah, those are my two, like, I really want to start them soon plan things. But I also, I want to finish the Friday tee so bad. I'm kind of hoping to finish that before my next podcast, just so it's out of the way, because the two other sweaters that I have on my needles are way bigger gauge than that. So those shouldn't take long at all, and I kind of want to get those done too, so I can cast on the poetry sweater for my sister, and then I could cast on the Clover for myself. That's the plan. I also made a wool warehouse order the other day, and I ordered some drops, Kid Silk Haze. Is that what it's called? The drops of Mohair in a gold color to go with my other cone that I got from WoolyKnit, which is the Crayabea Special, I think, the Harvest Yellow colorway. So I'll have something to match that. And I kind of want to do cables in that too, because I think that would look so nice. I see golden yellow cables. So I'm just keeping those back there to remind me of all the things that I want to make. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Don't have much anything going else. Woo. I don't have much of anything else going on. I am working on my next shop update. I don't have all of the colorways decided. It'll be some of my older colorways, and then I think I kind of want to do sweater weather for the next update. I might, depending. But yeah, my next update will be sometime in October. It'll be a smaller update, and then I'll have a bigger update of like more holiday styles in November. And then December will probably be me figuring out the next Lord of the Rings collection for the Two Towers. Lots to do. So much to do. Oh, on another note, my cousin was supposed to come visit me last week. She was supposed to be here on Friday. And as some of you may know from personal experience as well, Hurricane Fiona sort of shut down all of the Maritimes and did some damage. So her flight was canceled and we couldn't wait, so yay. It was very upsetting. I was very much looking forward to having her here, and yeah, now I'm just by myself again, always by myself. But I'm gonna get back to sewing, maybe winding up some yarn to warp, and yeah, I will see you all next time. I hope you all are doing well and have a lovely rest of your week. Bye.